Hello, good morning, and welcome to your favorite show on TV, the Sunday Show, coming to you from your channel of choice, Africa Independent Television, AIT. My name is Obia Ajoro. Thank you for joining us again. Achieving food safety in Nigeria has remained a tall order for citizens and successive governments at various levels, despite series of efforts. No thanks to insecurity, lack of capacity for mechanized farming, inaccessibility of fundamental farm inputs, and other factors. In this light, productivity level has over time depreciated and forced many to begin to search for the way out. Basic food items, including livestock products, have become very expensive and almost unaffordable to average income earner. Statistics indicate that there is a constant growth in population and around the world, and to feed this number of people, nations including Nigeria must look at innovative ways of making food available, affordable, and healthy for their teeming population. This is where the controversy surrounding the adoption of genetically modified organisms, GMOs, in Nigeria become the focal point of our discussion today. While many see it as the key to achieving food security, others are skeptical about it, insisting that the modified crops or livestock are not healthy for consumption, and in the same instance, damage soil components in farmlands. To further make some meaning out of this issue, we shall be engaging an expert in the field and seasoned professional. But before we do that, before we bring him on, let us go on this quick break while we refresh our memories on major items that made the news during the week. Welcome back. You're still tuned to the Sunday Show on AIT. Let's remind you that the controversies surrounding adoption of GMOs in Nigeria is our focus on this edition. Interestingly, while countries like US, Brazil, Argentina, China, and many others in the world have embraced GMO crops, countries like Russia, Serbia, Turkey, Norway, and Switzerland have enforced a total ban on GMOs. What do we do, or what should we make out of this fact? Let's get the discussion on the way as I welcome Dr. Rufus Ebegba, former DG, National Biosafety Management Agency.
Grab your seats and join us on the most fascinating 60-minute infotainment journey, showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
It's still the Sunday Show on Africa Independent Television, AIT. This morning we're discussing GMO, genetically modified foods in Nigeria, its adoption and concerns. And this morning I have the opportunity to once again bring to you Dr. Rufus Ebegba, former DG, National Biosafety Management Agency. Good morning and welcome, sir.
Good morning.
How are you today? Happy Sunday to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making our time with your busy schedule to come join us on the show today. Today we are looking at GMO adoption in Nigeria, the controversies and clarification. First of all, I want to begin with this question. Critics argue insufficient long-term studies to confirm the safety of GMOs for human consumptions, with some studies linking them to potential health problems such as cancer, infertility, and tumors. Can you throw more light on this?
See, genetically modified organisms are natural living things that have been additionally added some what's called gene characteristics of what confer characteristics on living things, known as gene, to achieve particular purpose. They are not produced from chemicals. They are produced from natural living system, combination of natural living system with, of gene from another to another, with intent to achieve a particular aim. So when people talk about long-term effects, before any genetically modified organism can be produced and be confirmed safe, it can take up to 13 years before you can come out with any safe products. And apart from that, the gene of insert, that's the material you moved from one organism to another, must have had history of safety on that organism before that particular movement. So the idea of saying GMOs cause cancer, there's no evidence to show that genetically modified organism can cause harm. These have been attested to by very sound Academy of Science, Academies of Science, World Authority, Food and Agricultural Organization, and other countries, authorities that have actually stood test of time over the years. So GMOs have not been known to cause any harm to human health, neither to the environment.
Concerns also exist that GMOs could transfer known allergies into non-allergic crops or introduce toxic compounds into the food supply, with a significant portion of the Nigerian population perceiving GMO as harmful and toxic.
You see, one thing biosafety does is to ensure that all genetically modified organisms don't have allergy beyond what that organism has before. It does not also cause toxicity to human health or to the animal. So those are the major things when you look at food safety that have been tested for. So the idea of anybody saying that GMOs, if any GMO causes allergy, for sure it can never be approved, neither be released for any human consumption. And if it causes even toxin, it can also never be approved. So those are the things about safety looks out for. So the idea of saying GMOs can cause allergy or cause toxicity, I've not seen any of that. Over the years, I've been over 8 years.
You superintended over
the National Biosafety Management, and before then, I was the staff of the National Biosafety Ministry of Environment, where the issue of biosafety started from in Nigeria.
Now, another specific concern is the transfer of antibiotic resistance through the genetic modification process.
You see, the truth is that antibiotics sometimes is used to confirm whether the organism has become genetically modified or not. And before the organism is finally produced for consumption, the antibiotics would have been removed. So the issue of conferring resistance, antibiotic resistance in the organism, there will be no trace of the antibiotics in that organism, the final product.
All right. Another area we need to also look at is the introduction of GMO crops that could threaten Nigeria's diverse native species and lead to reduction in biodiversity.
If you look at all the genetically modified organisms so far in Nigeria, apart from cowpea, which might be the center of diversity or center of origin, maize is not a Nigerian crop. Cotton may not also be Nigerian crop. I think it's diverse in both ways. So the idea of saying genetically modified organisms will cause harm to the environment. You see, the Convention on Biological Diversity has 3 objectives: conservation of biological diversity, sustainable use of biological resources, and equitable sharing of benefits derived from the use of genetically modified organisms. And that convention actually also prescribed that there should be biosafety on all products that have been bioengineered or that's gone through genetic engineering to produce GMO. So the idea of biosafety, apart from protection from human health, is also ensure that biodiversity conservation, all the sustainable use biological resources is not compromised through genetic engineering. So those are the 3 major things we look at for conservation, to ensure that biosafety, it protects biodiversity, also protects human health. And finally, you look at the issues of when you are sure that this does not have any impact on biodiversity, it does not have impact on human health, on animals, you will now look at it, does it have economic benefit? So all these things are well planned when you talk about biosafety. So the idea of saying biodiversity will be affected, there's no organism currently in this world that has remained the way it is over the years. In fact, most of them have been altered with the intention to enhance them or improve on them.
In any of this, is there any of the particular crop that has been released in Nigeria?
Yes, we have 3 crops that have been approved.
Large
and
quantity?
The idea of saying that GMOs are everywhere, like the genetically modified maize, is not in abundance for now. Farmers are still trying to assist those who have developed the product to increase the quantity for commercial level. The cotton too is not also enough. So, and the cowpea, which is beans, it has not actually been in abundance for the public to consume. So we don't really have enough yet, and they are not even visible for now. It's in the hands of few farmers, and this is being multiplied for commercial.
What about a situation where the government had to seek for help in terms of either bringing in, accepting the maize, especially, into the country?
The issue of maize importation. The truth is that genetically modified grains, which are maize grains, the one for processing, for feed meal, or for processing to food, are being imported into this country. They are genetically modified, and they have been approved. They are not meant to be planted. In fact, they are being imported to complement the Nigerian production of maize in the area of feed meals and other, confectionery. So all those things, we also assess them for safety before they are approved.
So what exactly are the fears about? Because if the government need to improve in food production, and because insecurity is staring in our faces, every one of us, and people cannot actually go to their farms to produce our usual way of, bringing this and that together to go to the market. So if the government needs to seek help, do you advise that it go ahead? Because I can see that, especially, there was a day I went to the market recently, we don't see the usual, what is it called now? Ginger. Ginger in the market today is different from the Nigeria's regular ginger. This is so puffy and big, and it almost does not even have skin.
Let me start with the ginger. There was an outbreak of infection on ginger. And the Institute of Agricultural Research, Zaria, and some other institutions put their heads together, and they were able to discover, they were able to carry out some scientific experiment and discover the cause of the infection on the ginger, and they were able to do normal breeding technology, to apply normal breeding technique to ensure that the problem is over. So the ginger you are seeing currently, they have been improved upon. They are not genetically modified.
Okay.
They are not. And the idea of saying government will seek assistance to bring in GMOs. Government has a policy promoting biotechnology application in the area of food production. It also has a policy that encourages genetic engineering as a whole, and also, like the National Biotech Development Agencies, to promote the technology. And the Ministry of Agriculture policy is also in place. And we also have over 13 agric research institutes in this country that will also be doing genetic engineering. And some universities are also having hands-on on genetic engineering. So the government has put in place serious measures to ensure that technology is applied in the area of food production. And the truth is that there are other factors that is making it very difficult for research institutes to really come out with research results. The issue of funding is very key. The issue of energy, which is power, is another aspect of it. Our scientists are capable to produce any genetic product, genetically enhanced product. Nigerians have the ability to produce GMOs, and let nobody be thinking that GMOs are foreign products. They are not foreign. They are not just. They are scientific products as a result of a solution that has brought as a result of seeking solution in problems which cannot be solved using normal breeding technology. That is why you have genetic engineering. And GMOs, as a matter of fact, they are products of solution, because they were not deliberately brought in, but they were brought in because there were challenges or the specific results to be achieved. That's why they're having GMOs. And GMOs have not come to replace the conventional crops. They are to complement what we have.
Okay, a situation where another concern is that the GMO could also lead to corporate control over Nigeria's food system, with foreign companies dominating the seed market and making farmers dependent on them.
Where the people have been talking about food sovereignty and talking about things like that. Let me tell you, as I said, we have over 13 agri-research institutes. We have a full-fledged National Biotechnology Development Agency. We also have other universities that are doing genetic engineering. And I tell you, GMOs, the supply of GMOs to the market is similar to that of hybrids. And these hybrids that have been sold over the years are being controlled by the producers of those hybrids. It's going to be the same system. It does not mean that they are foreigners that are selling these fruits. They are Nigerians that are selling this. And they are also producing them. So GMO should not be seen as if it's an international product. No, it's a solution, which it's a product that arose from problems that were solved. So Nigeria has the ability to do so. In the next few years, Nigerians will be producing GMOs that...
Don't you think that could also be a concern? Because most times we don't even believe in our own, that Nigerians are producing a GMO.
Yes. The truth, the concern has always been there all over the world when new technologies are introduced. Even when telephone was invented, artificial intelligence is already on board. People are already expressing concerns. And the issue of genetically modified organisms that people are complaining about is already becoming obsolete, because since 1996, GMOs have been commercialized and the world has been eating it. And I think people should concentrate on how we can move forward rather than creating unnecessary apprehension and fear for the public. Nigerian government has put in place measures to ensure that GMOs are safe. And I think people should believe what government says sometimes. No government will want to kill its people.
Let's look at labeling. Poor labeling in bracket.
Poor labeling.
Yes.
There is no product in the market that is not labeled. And the act establishing the National Biosafety Management, or the Biosafety Act, specify that there must be labeling of all genetically modified organisms. And subsequently, the pursuant regulation that was developed on labeling also specifies how each product can be labeled, so that consumers will have choice. Labeling is not a safety measure, but for consumer choice.
Have you ever gone to any of the shopping malls or supermarkets and you decide to go investigate? Because a lot of this canned food, especially the corn, sweet corn, then the beans, canned, beef, everything canned. Maybe one day we take a camera. They might not also allow us to do that, to check, because I think I've happened to see a situation where I wanted to pick a particular product and somebody said, that is a GMO. I picked it up and I looked at it. I wasn't bothered.
People should not demonize GMO, GM food, genetically modified foods. All those products that are in the stores, most of them, in fact, as a matter of fact, let me not just affirm that, but I think most of them have been approved. And even the products, that is the corn that has been used for those products, or the ingredients, they have actually been confirmed safe before being processed into food. And subsequently, NAFDAC also look at all foods, know that they are genetically modified or not, but there is a memorandum of understanding between National Biosafety Management Agency and NAFDAC that all products that contain genetically modified ingredients must be assessed for biosafety before NAFDAC can also carry out their due diligence. So this idea of saying the GMOs and the chefs, so you should run away from them, I think Nigerians should eat and not to be disturbed. The governments have given them that leeway to say that these products are safe. And there's no government that will want to harm its citizens. I
don't want to believe you are retired. You're not retired.
I'm retired. I'm retired.
You are not tired.
You see,
now, I want to land with my question. Because as the immediate past DG, you actually set up that office. Am I right or wrong? You are right. You set up that office today, and you served for 8 years.
Yes.
What exactly, which ways can the government actually do enough with all of these controversies that people are afraid of here and there? Is NOA involved in making sure that they educate Nigerians about all of this you're saying, that they should go ahead and pick these products, food products, and eat, and nothing will happen to them? Who is telling us that on television?
You see, we have the food, national, that's food, something, consumer protection, we have the National Agency for Consumer and Competition Commission also.
That one involves all the products.
Yes, all the products. Yes. And the National Biosafety Management works with that. And Standard Organization of Nigeria also has an MOU with National Biosafety Management Agency. And for the National Orientation Agency, I think the current administration of the agency is
up and running. Yeah,
I think they are really collaborating with the National Orientation Agency for Nigerians to properly enlighten. And apart from that, the agency itself have been doing quite a lot in the area of trying to enlighten the Nigerian public. And one problem we have in this country is that we don't really trust and believe in government. But at times we should make effort to believe in our government and prove them wrong.
Things happened.
Yes, we know that human beings are involved and they are bound to fail sometimes. But we still have good leaders in this country. We still have people who have conscience to ensure that our country keeps running and the right places and also the right things are done. Let me say one thing. As the Director General, when I was in office, our interest was for national interests, and it's love for citizens and love for country. We are the things that we are driving our purpose to achieve. And the establishment of that agency, I tell you, I really want to commend the staff of the National Biosafety Management Agency that worked with me. They worked very hard. We have various guidelines which are now standing as international documents, other countries from Africa coming to study what we are doing, trying to also copying our own model of biosafety guidelines and regulations. So Nigeria has that capacity to regulate this sector, and I think we don't need to doubt the issue of GMO. I know there are lots of workshops going on. Media houses have been invited and been inundated, and also trying to bias their mind to publish negative things about genetically modified organisms. I have been there. I have tasted this product. I have seen this product. And I think Nigeria needs genetic engineering to move the food security system forward. And apart from that, genetic engineering will enable Nigerians to also produce enough raw materials to drive our industry, whether the textile industry and some other industry that are needed to promote the economy. Nigeria should not be afraid of genetic engineering. And I also want to tell you, in the modern world, for you to attain green economy and bioeconomy, you need science and technology.
In one of the countries that we travel together to, BT is their own oil.
Yes, you have in India and some other countries, they use this cotton.
Yes,
BT cotton. When you talk about BT cotton, Bacillus thuringiensis, which means bacterial, it contains the gene of a bacteria known as bacterial thuringiensis. So that's why you call it the BT.
Yes.
So the products of that are derived from genetic engineering in the area of cotton can be used to produce oil. The seed can be used to produce oil. It can also be used to produce feed for animals. And apart from that, the cotton itself in the area of textile.
That is Senegal, right? Is it Senegal?
No,
I'm trying to remember.
Yes, it was Burkina Faso that they had that.
Yes.
Even though they have aborted the process because they said the fiber is shorter than what they used to have. Okay. But they were able to achieve the control of the pests. So these issues, there's need for proper information. I know there are a lot of people that say, oh, these countries are banned GMO, this country don't want to. Must Nigeria follow other countries? Nigeria must be able to show good example in some areas. And I think in Nigeria, in the issue of biosafety, Nigeria has been able to prove to the world that we could do that. And I think the scientific community, they are sound.
Do you think that this fear is being driven into the very less privileged people? Because the big men have the opportunity, they travel all over the world. And when you go to any of these eateries abroad, you are bound to have to eat fried potato, right? Yeah. And I don't want to put figures to it, but let me say that over 50% of the potato outside this country,
yes, you may be right.
Genetically engineered.
You may be right. I tell you that the issue of soybean, the issue of soybean, almost 90% or so in Mexico, in America. Then cow, they also being the maize is almost 75% in the US that is genetically modified. Exactly. What they do, they just label them for consumer choice. But I think over the years, they have come to understand that these products are safe as their conventional
Even the tomatoes.
And again, I want to tell you one thing like that. Those who are championing campaign against GMO, they have their ulterior motive. Most of them go to America to go and eat genetically modified food. They don't go there with gari and beans.
No.
And they come here to tell them. And they come to tell Nigerians, don't eat this. What is their intent? People should investigate very well. And I think there's a trade war going on between genetically reformed biotech and
pest manufacturers, or
you see like the agrochemical companies.
Yes.
And now genetically modified crops are in place that can control their insect infestation without necessarily using
because
chemicals.
Like the potatoes we get from Jos, they are all diseased.
You will discover that if the agrochemical companies are now discovering that, look, it's like we are going to go underground because these products are no more, these people don't need pesticide for them to control their pests. They rather give money to some of these people and they start campaigning against their country. People should learn to be patriotic. If you don't want to eat GMO, let those who want to eat GMO eat GMO. They are labeled. So why do you want others? It is your right not to eat it. It is the right of others to eat it. They should believe in their government rather than trying to cause confusion and cause unnecessary panic in the land. I'm very happy that the government understood this and the relevant government agencies will continue to enlighten Nigerians that are willing to listen. Because most people want to listen to Boko Haram crisis, bandits and all that. When you talk about GMOs, or talking about biosafety, people don't seem to understand it. But I think over time, Nigerians will get to understand that the government has good intention for the citizens.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, you look into the camera and tell Nigerians how, as a government, I won't say you are a former government employee. You are still a government employee. So talk to Nigerians. Let them know, because I want to use you now as the person who is in this studio representing NOA.
Nigerians, I want to tell you the basic truth. I was a former Director General of the National Biosafety Management Agency. All we have put on ground so far will ensure safety in the application of modern biotechnology and the use of its products. We need not to be afraid. These products, they are safe as their conventional counterparts. Anybody telling you that GMOs are not safe, the person is not being sincere. They are among those who want to ensure that Nigeria is stagnated in the area of science and technology. Nigeria will move forward. Nobody is going to stop science and technology. And apart from that, all those who are saying GMOs, they don't even have the capacity to stop it. And let me also make this very clear. In Africa, Africa does not have the capacity to stop the use of science and technology. Rather, it needs science and technology to grow. And biotechnology is one of those technologies that will enhance the economy of countries. I'm not promoting GMOs, but I'm saying the truth. That's what it is all about. It is as safe as their conventional counterparts.
Thank you so much. The program continues in a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Grab your seats and join us on the most fascinating 60-minute infotainment journey, showing on your favorite TV channel, Africa Independent Television, AIT. Analysis on topical national issues, news, sports, and entertainment are on the menu. It's a show you do not want to miss. It is The Sunday Show.
Knowledge indeed is power. It is clear that the scrutiny of adopting GMO in Nigeria is worth it. While the debates may continue, Nigerians wish to see evidence-based arguments to have a clear picture of which direction to go. It is that time we take a trip into the world of entertainment as we offer you vibes and sounds. Sports, the newsmaker will come thereafter.
Hello and welcome to the Vibes and Views segment on the Sunday Show. My name is Anu Awojabi. You're welcome.
You don't have to kill somebody before you sin. Oh, Charlie Browse, there they Lusobo. Oh, there they go for without God.
Magistrate Adefioye Shonuga on Tuesday, September 2nd, 2025, issued the order while ruling on an application filed by Joseph Aloba, the late Mohbad's father. Aloba is seeking to establish whether or not Liam is his late son's biological child. Hence, the court ordered that 2 DNA tests be conducted, one within Nigeria and another in a recognized and accredited hospital outside the shores of Nigeria. Magistrate Shonuga in his ruling said both parties or their representatives should be present when the samples of the test are being taken, which must be carried out in government-approved medical facilities. He explained that tissues or air samples may be taken from the remains of the late singer, which is currently being preserved at the Military Hospital, Yaba, Lagos. Joseph Aloba, in his application, had sought an order directing the Chief Medical Officer and the Chief Pathologist or any other qualified officer of the Military Hospital, Yaba, who is in charge of the remains of the late Mohbad, or any part of the deceased's body for the purpose of conducting a DNA test on Liam Aloba. Aloba stated that there remains uncertainty regarding the paternity of Liam, and given the sensitivity of the matter, it was necessary that the paternity be conclusively settled. Mohbad's father, through his counsel, Augustine Adegbemi, during Tuesday's proceedings, argued that the test had become imperative to resolve the lingering doubts and public speculations surrounding Liam's paternity. In the application filed pursuant to Order 8, Rules 1 and 8 of the Family Court of Lagos State Civil Procedure 2012 and Order 9, Rules 8 and 9 of the Magistrates Court's Civil Procedure Rules 2009, Joseph Aloba listed Omomi Cynthia Aloba, the widow of the late singer, as the respondent. With no objection from the respondent's counsel, Magistrate Shonuga granted the order and adjourned for further proceedings to November 11, 2025. And that's my package for you on the Vibes and Views segment on the Sunday Show. My name is Anu Awojabi. Many thanks for watching.
An early visit to the Asaba Cenotaph, the venue for volleyball and handball, highlighted Nigeria's vast sporting potential. The performances on display suggest that the country could not only dominate the African continent but also emerge as a global force, including at the Olympic level. Even when results didn't go their way, the young athletes demonstrated the resilience and spirit of true champions.
I feel good and I want to be at the top, like I want to be the best.
Actually, my ambition is to be at the top. But playing at the preliminary does not mean, because you are winning at the preliminary, does not mean that But with the team that I have, I believe we'll make it to the top. We'll get the gold.
At the indoor sports hall of the Stephen Keshi Stadium, venue for table tennis, the atmosphere was electric as Team Lagos dominated the mixed doubles category, claiming both gold and silver medals. Emmanuel Joseph and Ajasa Ifeoluwa needed the fifth set to defeat higher-ranked Sadiq Adeoye and Aisha Okpeyemi 8-11, 11-7, 6-11, 11-6, 11-7.
I just play my game, anything can happen and anything can change. I couldn't believe we can be the winner, but I try my best and we win. When it was 2-1 down, we keep trying that we can win 2-2 when it was 2-2 and we try our best in the last game.
While Team Abia claimed the mixed doubles gold in para-table tennis, defeating their opponent from Kwara State 3-1.
We do make mistakes sometimes, but we correct each other, we work as one to make sure we win the game.
Adding a fun twist to the day, the chairman of the Lagos State Sports Commission and the senior special advisor to the president on grassroots sports development took time to try their skills at the shooting gallery. Both officials emphasized the crucial role of grassroots sports in discovering and nurturing future champions.
I want to say a big thank you to the National Sports Commission, the Delta State government for putting this together and for giving the opportunity for our young athletes, promising athletes, under 15 athletes to participate in these national, events. It is very, very important. From the perspective of Lagos State, this is actually a demonstration of our commitment to sports, grassroots sport development, and community sport development.
Why we said we are focused on these young talents is by the time they get it right, scholarship matters a lot. When we see future champions, we give them scholarship. The National Sports Commission is ready, my office and the presidency, to encourage the younger generation because we know they are the future champion. Giving them scholarship is a very key thing for our country. And I have that belief, this younger generation are future champion and we are ready to do everything possible to make sure they get it right.
From the handball courts and the volleyball courts to the thrilling contests at the table and para-table tennis events, and of course at the shooting gallery. Kogi State Marvelous Joseph staged a dramatic comeback in the boys singles final, defeating his Osun State opponent 3-2 to claim the gold medal, sending the crowd at the indoor sports hall of the Stephen Keshi Stadium into a frenzy.
I was looking that I can't lose, that I'm a champion, that I must win due to the instruction from my coach. I use it and it makes me to win.
I'm very, very happy right now. And not only the youth games, I want to win many, many, many more medal and gold medal.
What we saw today is not it's not luck. We planned for it, we prepared for it, male, female, huge preparation with lean resources. We prepared for it and today we got it.
Elsewhere at the weightlifting auditorium, events concluded with a medal presentation ceremony. Edo State Esther Chidioke, who dominated the girls 48 kg category, proudly displayed the medals to the admiration of officials.
We actually brought the youngest of all the teams. Most of our teams are really under 15 because we want to develop them, we want to bring out these talents in them. We are using sports to bring out the restive natures of the youth, bring them out of the streets, and let them come into the society and give to the society what they know, what they have. So far so good for Team Edo, and we will finish at the podium, definitely.
Meanwhile, it was the end of the road for Team Edo's handball team following a draw against Team Ondo in their last group match, while Team Delta progressed into the semi-finals.
Edo will be disappointed because they needed to win the match to move to the next, hopefully move to the next round. But it's all part of the game. That's why they are here, to try to do their best. But I think all said, the referees were fair enough. They officiated to the best of their abilities.
With more events heading into crucial stages, all eyes remain on outstanding athletes as the quest for glory continues at the 9th National Youth Games.
Lagos State is the state of aquatic splendor, is the center of excellence in Nigeria, is the capital of commerce, tourism, entertainment, fashion, lifestyle, and also we are leaders in sports. So with the opportunity to host the next National Youth Games, Nigerians will be treated to an extraordinary and spectacular sporting event.
That was the Director General of the Lagos State Sports Commission, Lekan Fatodo. His submission has sparked reaction from his counterpart in Delta State, Mobo Igalese. Igalese insists that a binding memorandum of understanding signed in 2023 with the then Federal Ministry of Youth and Sports Development gives Delta State the right to host 4 consecutive editions of the Youth Games.
Well, if we should recall back, there was an MOU to this before now, where Delta was given the hosting rights to host 4 editions. And the next edition, being the 10th edition, coming up next year in Delta, was not ceded to Lagos State because the memorandum of understanding is we have not breached that. And Delta did not come up to say that we're not capable of hosting the 10th edition of the National Youth Games. It's still on ground, very much ready to host the 10th edition of the National Youth Games.
She was, however, economical with her words when asked if the Delta State government will take legal action should the National Sports Commission breach its agreement of 2023.
The state will decide on that. Yes, the state government will decide on that.
As the 2025 National Youth Games winds down and the countdown to the 2026 Games begins, the ball is now in the court of the National Sports Commission to honor existing agreements and maintain transparency in sports governance.
As long as poverty, injustice, and gross inequality persist in our world, none of us can truly rest. Moreover, the global campaign for action against poverty represents such a noble cause. Massive poverty and obscene inequality are such terrible scourges of our time, times in which the world boasts breathtaking advances in science, technology, industry, and wealth accumulation, that they have to rank alongside slavery. The global campaign for action against poverty can take its place as a public movement alongside the movement to abolish slavery and the international solidarity against apartheid. Many stood in solidarity with us just a few yards from this spot. Through your will and passion, you assisted in consigning that evil system forever to history. But in this new century, millions of people in the world's poorest countries remain imprisoned, enslaved, and in chains. They are trapped in the prison of poverty. It is time to set them free. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. And overcoming poverty is not a gesture of charity. It's the protection of a fundamental human right. The right to dignity, and a decent life. While poverty persists, there is no true freedom. The steps that are needed from the developed nations are clear. The first is ensuring trade justice. I have said before that trade justice is the truly meaning way for the developed countries to show commitment to bringing about an end to global poverty. The second is an end to the debt crisis for the poorest countries. The third is to deliver much more aid and make sure it is of the highest quality. In 2005, there is a unique opportunity for making an impact. In September, world leaders will gather in New York to measure progress since they made the Millennium Declaration in the year 2000. That declaration promised to halve extreme poverty. But at the moment, the promise is falling tragically behind. Those leaders must now honor their promises to the world's poorest citizens, especially in Africa. I say to all those leaders, do not look the other way. Do not hesitate. Recognize that the world is hungry for action, not words. Act with courage and vision. Of course, the task will not be easy, but not to do this would be a crime against humanity, against which I asked all humanity now to rise up. Make poverty history.
All right, with the Newsmaker segments, we are drawing the curtains on the show today. Please continue to keep in touch with us through our social media platforms. And don't forget to join us again, same time, same station next week. On behalf of the production team, do have a fulfilled week ahead. Goodbye now.